All right, guys, here's what I think, right? I think if we zoom out, right? These places right here are shallow that we see, and then obviously to the right you have like the darker, more deeper. I believe the parts that were shallow, actually, a lot of this was landmass before the floods, before the ice age. How about we say that, right? Because there's tails everywhere. There's tails over in South America, Mexico. You got the United States. You go over here to. What are we talking about? We talking about the Middle East. Where that? You know where the Bible was written? They talk about a flood there. I'm looking for it, man. Whole bunch of flood shit. So, anyways, right? You come over here. Look how big Australia was, and also it kind of makes sense. Look. What I literally just watched a video about it. They calling like there was a continent right here called Sunland, but literally look at it. You can literally see the fucking imprints of what was once a fucking land because the water rose when the ice age happened, so a lot of this shit went under. This is straight up a bigger continent. Australia was connected to all this shit. It was huge, bro. So then if we're even thinking about like Atlantis and Lemuria, look at this. Look at where landmass could have been. Boom, shakalaka. This is where apparently Atlantis might have been. And then Lemuria, which actually makes sense if you go to Hawaii, right? Look at all of this. This was connected. This was bigger. All of this shit right here. Way more stuff. This was connected, like clearly. Look how much bigger it was. You can see like the freaking here's the dark part where it's really deep water, and then here's the shallow part, massive amounts of more shallowness comparably. So this was huge. Russia and America, the Americans were clearly connected, and this gap right here in like Japan area, we got Mongolia. So look at this, bam shalaka. All of this up here was probably land up here. This is where we get a lot of like North Greek mythology and shit, where the fucking gods were at and shit like that. There was probably more lands up here, way more shit, way more history. You go down here to fucking Argentina, clearly Atlantis, Antarctica was connected, bro. There's a literal fucking landmass. Anyways, that's just my fucking take on all that. But yeah, shaka brah. Shaka shaka. A lot of stuff in our history that we do not know. It's always good to ask questions. You are not a fool for asking questions. If they make fun of you like, oh, we already know the answers and this, that, and the third, out like a fucking kid. A bunch of kids just talking, and then you were like, well, what if there was like more stuff going on? And the other kid's like, no, that's impossible because it can't happen. That's stupid. Like, that's so dumb. Like, it's just like, come on, guys. Come on. So, anyways, yeah, look at all this. Boom. Probably all this freaking land here. You can go look this up yourself. Just go to your free. I just literally typed and put in Google Maps. I remember I was looking at this and I'm like, dude, look at all that land, all that history, bro. We could have literally have had a society that was just like ours and maybe different. You ever seen Dragon Ball Z? What if that shit happened like 200,000 years ago? Real shit. Final Fantasy. What if that happened 200,000 years ago? Bam, you got freaking Final Fantasy 9 happening over here. You got Final Fantasy 16. Like, what if this was all being channeled, right? Like from the ethereal realm, all these stories, and we're just like, oh, we're inspired to write these things down. But what if they're coming from somewhere, right? Lord of the Rings, before the freaking Ice Age, when there was more mythical beasts, were like so many mythical beasts, bro. Mexico, they talk about Quetzalcoatl, which is the flying serpent. You go all the way to freaking Asia. You got the freaking dragons coming down. You go to Japan, dragons obviously as well. There's dragons. They have a whole bunch of dragons. You go to the UK, all the way over here. You got the freaking dragons. They all talk about giants as well. They talk about giants over here as well. There's even tons of stuff about in the Americas about giants. Explorers like freaking was it Marco Polo? I don't quote me if it's Marco Polo. It was definitely one that was actually um, where most of everything they were saying was true. It was like a legitimate like freaking explorer. I think it was Marco Polo, but he literally even also talks about giants. Like this shit is not like the Bible, bro. Literally, the book, the Bible, is centered around. this motherfucking area. It's not talking about the rest of the world. Like the book of Moses, not Moses, but Noah. Noah was like probably one out of many motherfuckers who survived the flood, bro. You know what I'm saying? One of many. And it would make more sense that he didn't get all the animals of the world, you know, but maybe a lot of animals within the vicinity that he was in. And then there's other tales. You know what I'm saying? And then don't even get me started. Africa. Look, damn, Africa's just been kind of. It's been in, yeah, tech. I'm watching a lot of what's it, Graham Salam. Forget his name. He's just revealing a bunch of stuff. But yeah, man. Like honestly, like these questions, like it's that doesn't look too crazy to me. Like clearly. And like really though, realistically though, Ice Age is gonna elevate. You got a whole bunch of ice, and then it's gonna fucking melt. The water on the planet is going to increase, and these are clearly where there's more landmass before. Clearly,